Hello, my name is Justin Smith, and I'm here to introduce the Weber Brothers. The Weber Brothers is a brainchild developed by a group of black men that recognize the need for generational bonding. The Weber Brothers will bridge the communication gap between generations by providing a platform for idea sharing, dialogue, mentorship, and learning. I yearn to learn about my history, the accomplishments of people that look like me, and to solidify my legacy in my community and in the world. The more I learn about my history, the more I learn who I am and gain perspective as to my potential and purpose. The problem is, at least for me, is where do I start to learn this history? Do I read it in a book, the internet, television? I venture to say that most people learn their history first from their families, and then some form of formal education. And then if you choose to push it forward, you study, you read some books, you go to museums, maybe even travel different places. Um, but what if history's been changed, altered, and even destroyed? How do you learn it? How do you keep passing on history from generation to generation? So these questions, as well as some others, were questions that this group black men dialogued about and knew that we had to address the issues that we could. So we all agreed that a positive self-image, discipline, and encouragement were definitely major factors that led to success in our life, despite the fact that we did have many, many challenges. We also recognized that we were all very fortunate to have great parents that help us guide, that help to guide us as well as to help navigate the fabric of our neighborhoods, our schools, um, financial institutions. However, our parents' intentions, although great, they're just things that they just didn't know and they just couldn't teach us, included but not limited to our history, finances, true education, and then just the social perspective as to where we fit, how we should fit, so on and so forth. So the goal of the Weber Brothers is to provide a platform that offer these topics as well as others in a format that's very non-threatening yet effective based on the user's enthusiasm. In fact, the experiences can be as limited or as expansive, as he chooses them to be. The site is going to consist of videos and audios that tell the stories of men's lives, the good, the bad, the ugly, the magnificent, trials, tribulations, successes, failures, struggles and wins, losses, the how to, the why, and even the why not, you know. And it's going to be done in a way that's candid, which allows a listener to relate. And this way of being able to relate to these stories will encourage and provide hope to those who view and listen. And then at such point, if you want to reach out to that person via email, uh, phone call, a text message, maybe even over some form of mailbox, right? Audio mailbox. There'll be options that way for those people to interact as long as the as both parties agree on that. So one of the options there, but the idea though is to provide those relatable stories that can connect two groups of people, right? Specifically, right now we're talking about someone telling their story and someone hearing and relating to it and be able to say, hey, I'd like to talk to that brother and see if I can, pick his brain and learn some more from him, maybe get some guidance. So when we look at Weber Brothers, it's really designed for these young men to have a place where if they're looking for those father figures, they're looking for those answers, and just even direction to some of the challenges that they'll face, they'll have this opportunity. The same way that a father has the opportunity to guide his or his son through life, the Weber brothers will have content that has the ability to do the same. And as an older man, if you look to mentor someone, you have the ability to put whatever experiences you want to, on the Weber brothers to give guidance to whomever you want to. So, and then with that being said, if you're someone who's really ambitious about having someone that you can mentor, you make sure that you just let us know that, hey, I want this person to communicate with me. I want someone to communicate with me. I'm here to be that person. But in the same respect, that older person may be looking for some perspective from younger people, maybe looking to learn how to use the internet, to learn how to, whatever it is, and maybe just perspective into how younger people think and why they act and do the things they do. So it also provides the ability for older guys to be able to learn from younger ones, right? At the end of the day, it really does take a village, and the Weber brothers really intends to organically create this conduit to link and aid many villages across the world. And we can do this instantaneously. That's what the web allows us to do, the internet. And so if you think about it, right, if each person who participates, right, who gives and tells their story, just asks 5 more men to also participate, this thing can really grow. We aren't asking for a lot of time. But if you think about it, the cohesion and collaboration that will exist in this paradigm will definitely give rise to new leaders. And the more knowledge and tools that we have, within our culture, if you think about these young minds having these tools and this knowledge, think about how much more success, long term, they can realize. Further, as these young people become older and they become leaders, because that's the idea, right? The older leaders are supposed to teach the younger leaders so they can then lead, right? But as these younger leaders are now taking their place into society and taking their leadership roles, the confidence will now be off the roof because now they know they have the buy-in and support of their older counterparts. Not only that, they've been mentored and modeled by them, so their confidence really is much higher than it usually is. And then they also know they still have the backing, so they can go back and ask the questions and get the counsel that they need without having to be shamed or think that they aren't good enough. So, while this idea really isn't very innovative, I think the simple nature and time requirement of it makes it available for anyone who's really looking to provide some type of mentorship, gain mentorship, or just give and gain perspective. So if you are looking for some guidance, you're looking for some mentorship, or you're looking to provide it, right now, Weber Brothers is the place to start. Let's connect, let's begin to uplift each other so that we can all become our best selves. Thank you.